Hey guys, it's Joey for Digital DJ Tips and welcome to Making Your First Tune, a guide for DJs. This training course is for absolute beginners who want to take a dip into production. So if you're a DJ and you want to make your own music, but you don't know where to begin, this is the best place to start because we're going to give you the basic knowledge and tools necessary in order to gain confidence working within a digital audio workstation environment, which is the software that producers use in order to make music. In this first video, we're going to do two things. Number one, we're going to get you set up with a trial copy of Ableton Live, which is free for you to use for 30 days, the duration of our course. Ableton Live is the most popular music software for DJs who want to get into this sort of thing. And number two, we're going to download and install a sound pack from Beatport Sounds. Now we're going to be using this sound pack for the entire duration of the course, so it'd be great if you could buy it so we're using the same tools in order to speed up learning. But if not, don't worry, you can follow along with your own loops and samples. The best thing about this free training course is that you don't need any extra hardware or MIDI controllers in order to join. All you need is the laptop that you're using right now. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to download your trial copy of Ableton Live 9. To do that, open your browser and head on over to ableton.com. Once you're at the site, check out this portion on the upper right. There's a button here that says Try Live for free. Click on that one and then click on Free Download. So as it says, it gives you 30 full days to try out Ableton Live 9, which is enough time to finish the entire course and come up with your own production. So while you're waiting for that to finish, I suggest you get the sound pack that we're going to be using for this entire course. So to do that, go to beatport.com and then click on Sounds. In the search bar, type Deep House Undisclosed. Do note the way I typed it in order to get the proper search result. Click on Search and then click on Deep House Undisclosed. You'll be brought to this page, so go ahead and click on Full Download to add this to your shopping cart and click on Checkout in order to buy it. Okay, now that you've downloaded the sound pack, let's go ahead and install it in the proper directory in our computer. So open Finder and search for it. Deep House Okay. Copy it and then go to your music folder. Double click on Ableton. Double click on User Library. Go to Samples and then paste the folder here. Once that's done, just double click it to unzip it. Then double check in Ableton Live if it was installed. So go to Applications, double click on Ableton Live 9. Once it opens, go to your user library, double click on Samples, and verify that you have the folder. There it is. Alright, so let's check out Ableton Live. Now that you've opened it, what you can see right now is the session view. This is the view that's unique to Ableton. Think of it as a sketchpad where audio can loop and play back indefinitely, or as a live performance tool. This is the view that generally gets used on stage because you can trigger individual pieces of audio, called clips, using a MIDI controller or your mouse. Now let's go take a look at the second view, which is called the arrangement view. Let's hit Tab. Alright, now arrangement view is the traditional digital audio workstation view. This is where you get to assemble and edit parts of your song using a timeline that flows from left to right. You can also create an edit track automation for your song in this view. Say you want to turn an effect on or off, increase or decrease the volume of a track, or modify its panning. For this tutorial series, we're going to be using arrangement view primarily, although we'll try out session view from time to time. Now let's have some fun with that pack that we downloaded. So head on over to your user library and click on Samples. It's going to drop down, navigate to the Deep House Undisclosed folder, and double-click on Construction Kits. Choose the fifth one called Kit 05121AM. Now, as you can see, this provides us with some information about our project. 121 is the tempo of the files here, and AM is the musical key, A minor. So let's go ahead and change the tempo for the project to 121 to match it with the Construction Kit. Okay. Let's double-click and open it up. Let's load the drum kit here, second one. Click and drag it on over to the third track here called Audio. Rename this by right-clicking and choosing Rename from the options. Change it to Drums. Now, click on the clip if you haven't yet. Click warp if it isn't activated. Then click on loop. Okay, now go back to the clip and click on the arrow. You'll notice a playhead appear, and as the playhead reaches the end, it loops back to the start. This is one of the reasons why Ableton Live is the software of choice for live electronic musicians. It lets them improvise and make musical decisions on the fly, since dance music is made primarily from loops and repeating audio. Live gets that, and DJs love it since it lets them work in a way that they're comfortable with. Okay, now let's try doing this in Live's other view. Press Tab to enter Arrangement View. As you notice, the empty cells are gone, and you're left with this left-to-right orientation. You'll notice an orange arrow here on the upper right side of the screen. Click on it to deactivate it, basically telling Live that changes you make in the Arrangement View are the ones you want to keep. Click on the same drum loop as you did earlier, and drag it to the drums track in the track display. You'll notice that the audio now has a graphical waveform representation, and that it snaps the grid. This snapping ensures that the audio starts at a predetermined musical time, and helps you arrange your audio as we'll see later on. For now, just drag the drum track all the way to the left. This is the start of the first measure, as signified by the number 1 here at the beat time ruler on top. Press the spacebar. You'll notice the playhead now runs across the entire screen. As the drums end, the playhead continues to move to the right. This is the main difference between the session and arrangement views. In session view, time moves in a circle and playback of audio doesn't end until you stop it. In arrangement view, you won't hear anything when the playhead reaches an empty space in the track display, mainly because there isn't any audio to playback. Now let's try adding another piece of audio to this drum track. Click on the file named bass, it's over here, and drag it under your drum track. Over here. Let's line it up. Go ahead and rename this track to bass. Press that play button again. You've now got a bass line grooving with the track. Okay, now that you've got a drum and a bass loop in your project, click on the drum clip, hold Apple Command or Control if you're on a PC, then click on the bass clip under it. You'll notice that both of them are now highlighted. Now hold the Alt Option button or Control if you're on a PC, click on either clip, and drag to the right. You'll see a translucent copy of both clips, so drag these to the start of the 5th measure, which is where the first pair of clips ends. You've now doubled the duration of your song, and it now lasts for 8 measures, or a little over 15 seconds as seen in the time ruler below. We can make this even longer by doing the same process with the clips that we have so far. Click on the upper right drum clip, hold Shift, and click on the lower left bass clip to highlight everything. You can also do this by clicking beside the upper right clip, holding it down and dragging it all the way to the lower left. When that's done, hold Alt Option and drag this set of clips to the right on measure 9. You've once again doubled the length of your song. Now if you want to do all of this quickly, highlight the clips you want to extend and then right-click with your mouse, or hold Control on your Mac keyboard and then click, and then choose Duplicate from the context menu. Okay, now let's say you want to change the volume or panning of any of these two tracks. To do that in Arrangement View, just head on over to the right side of the screen. You'll see an orange bar here with the number 0. This is your volume. If you want to decrease the volume, left-click and drag down. If you want to increase volume, drag it up. Bring it back to 0 if you want to set it to its default state, or you can also just press delete. Same goes with panning. If you want to pan it to the left, click and drag it down, or pan it to the right, and then just hit delete again. There. You can do this in Session View by pressing Tab, back to Session View, and then checking out this arrow, which is the volume, or this one, which is the pan knob. That's it. Guys, so before we wrap up this week's session, let's save your project first. Go to File, click Save Live Set As, then navigate to Ableton Projects, then give it a name. Let's say DJ Tips, Ableton Tutorial. There. That's saved and we're done. Alright guys, so that's all the time we have for this first video. Just to recap, we did 3 things today. Number 1, we got Ableton installed on your machine. Number 2, we got a Beatport Sounds Pack installed and working within Ableton Live. And lastly, we took an overview of live session and arrange views. In the next video, I'm going to give you some editing and arrangement techniques that you can use in order to take this production that we've started with a little bit further. Again, I'm Joey for Digital DJ Tips. Head on over to digitaldjtips.com for the full training article, and I'll see you next week.